I got started with the Juggernaut Jug Band in 1965. I was, and my older brother got me introduced to some of his friends, and during the folk craze of the 60s, that little thing in 65 was my introduction to all kinds of folk music.
Actually, I joined in 1968. I first applied for the group, so to speak. We did it for our senior vaudeville. A bunch of friends and I thought it'd be a hoot, and it's been one ever since.
You can trace the roots of jug band music back to African Americans who were just playing music that was in their hearts and expressing how they felt about things.
It is a part of the musical tradition of the U.S. I know Kentucky is known a lot more for bluegrass music, but jug band music was born right here in Louisville, and we like to impart that to the folks we play all over the U.S. to let them know about it.
I think this music that we do, we really have an appreciation for the roots of this music. We keep some of those tunes, but it does evolve.
I play the acoustic bass. It looks just like a flat top folk guitar, and I also play the washtub bass, and it's literally a washtub and a banister rail and a string. We play jug band music, and jug band music includes the blues, swing, ragtime, just the popular music of the day, and the day was in the 1920s and 30s and 40s.
When I was 15 years old and my brother got me introduced to his friends, I went to a practice and I said, "What do you want me to do?" And one of the guys says, "Why don't you play washboard?" I didn't even know what one was. And I said, what do you do with it? He said, "Get some sewing thimbles, put them on your fingers, and rap on the washboard, and for a rhythm." And this is the drum set for the jug band. It's been a lot of fun because the tin cans just come from home, and they make a nice sound. The cowbells are actually old hardware store cowbells, not the modern, real heavy cowbells that you buy in a music store. This right here, you don't hear it ring too well. That is a resistor cap off an old Atwater Kent radio. It's just whatever, you hear it, you like it, you try to incorporate it.
Way down south, way down to Borneo, there's wild man's called a Borneo. Way down on Borneo Bay, rub-a-bub-a-bub-a-bub. Even though you've got a corneo, you dance till the break of dawn, yo. Way down on Borneo Bay, rub-a-bub-a-bub.
These jugs, most of the ones that play well for me are half gallon. I believe these are half-gallon jugs, yeah. And of course, this is my low-tech applause sign. It's just part of that silly fun that we have. The jug sound is actually made right here. I grew up playing trumpet in high school, band and stuff, and your embouchure, this came pretty easy to me, but the sound you're making is right here. It's and this is the amplifier, the reverberation chamber for that sound. So the old black guys used a jug to play the bass. They used it as a bass instrument. The band would get together and this jug player and keep the rhythm and the bass line going with the jug. And the only thing We're only guessing about this, but Louisville had a lot of distilleries, and there were a lot of whiskey jugs in Louisville, and I don't know who ever had the idea to pick one up and blow into it like that, but you know, that's where the jug band thing came from.
I made my wash tub, and Roscoe made his washboard, but maybe 3 or 4 years back I built a fishophone, and it was inspired by a picture of an old jug band that I saw where the fellow was using a downspout like a saxophone. And so that inspired me, and I came up with the what I call the fishophone. I named it after myself because I didn't figure anybody else would want to play it. Well, you never know where inspiration's going to strike. Mostly we play what we want to play, and a lot of groups can't claim that. They have to play what is on the radio or what's commercially popular, and somehow we've managed to eke out a living playing the music that we like. It's not for everybody, but I wouldn't want to play music that's for everybody.
We're somewhat of a modern sounding jug band. We're not trying to be anything more than what we hear in our ears and feel in our hearts.
It's the fun and the spirit of the music. It's from a time when people didn't have much during the Depression, and they managed to make light of life and have fun with it, and we can certainly use that today.
It's the idea that you just come together and have this joyful expression. And when we hit the stage, that's when you forget about whether or not something is exactly right. You don't worry about whether or not you're going to make mistakes. When you hit the stage, you're out there to have fun and enjoy this music. And hopefully you've done enough of your homework that you play it well and that, you know, that you perform it well. And that's the way I think that we have been able to build any kind of audience that we have, is that they know when they come to see us, they're going to forget all about their problems, whatever's bothering them. Hopefully, they're going to have fun with us.
The reaction from the audience is so gratifying on a good night. But it seems lately there's more and more good nights. And as long as we can keep playing music in front of people, that's, you know, in 10 years, I'll be a happy camper.